When it comes to analyzing the differences between the original Resident Evil trilogy and its Biohazard Japanese versions, many have only pointed out the differences between the intro cutscenes and the end credits. But what's never talked about are some of the products that were featured within the Japanese versions, as well as the cover art for the game discs, the manuals, and game cases. So today we'll be viewing some of these products and merchandise that was only seen in the Biohazard collection for the PS1. Let's start with the first original Biohazard game. Comparing this front cover with the US version, I gotta say this definitely looks more iconic than the art cover that we know of. The eyeball with the title is practically the iconic logo for the classic RE games. It's like their signature look. If you see a close-up shot of an eye, you immediately know it's a Resident Evil game. And even though the US version of Resident Evil has a detailed image that includes a man with a weapon and two giant spiders next to him, they're kinda hard to see. The weapon he's holding is a very odd looking weapon. It's like a combination between a shotgun and an assault rifle. But what's even funnier is the man's expression. Half his face looks angry while the other half looks confused. And even though this man is supposed to be Chris Redfield, he looks nothing like him. In fact, people till today still think it's Richard Eichen. But when the artist drew him, he didn't really have much of a concept to work with, so he used a combination of Sylvester Stallone's looks, which might actually explain the face having a bit of a split expression. Looking at the back of the case, I'd say both the US and Japanese versions have a remarkable presentation. The US version shows 4 gameplay screenshots with a white background close-up shot of the first zombie we encounter, and the Japanese version has 3 gameplay screenshots, a zombie crow below, and the Arklay Mountains in the background with a purple cloudy sky. But let's open up the game and see what's inside. Like most classic games, this comes with a manual handbook, and it has a few good illustrations that weren't released on their own. Not up until Capcom recently updated their website to include new concept art and illustrations, such as these handbook images of the Umbrella Lab where the Tyrant was kept, and the crashed Bravo Team helicopter. The manual seems to cover everything you need to know about the game, from the story, characters, enemy types, gameplay mechanics, examining items, and even the theme songs. Which is one thing that the international versions did not include in their character introductions and end credits theme. They did include their own, but it's fascinating to see how they each include their own versions. So the original Biohazard does not include any advertisements for special merch, but we'll get there with some of the next ones. So let's move on to Biohazard the Directors Cut. The front cover of this version is probably not the best, as it's just a plain white background with a small transparent image of the first zombie we encounter. The back of the case shows 3 gameplay screenshots with a zoomed in shot of a pre-rendered background which appears to be the hallway in the first floor leading to the first zombie encounter. In the screenshots we have Chris taking damage from a Cerberus, Jill being attacked by a pack of crows, and Jill blowing up the head of the first zombie, but with a shotgun. Now let's take a look inside. This version includes 2 discs, the full game in disc 1 and the trial edition of Biohazard II on the second disc. Sadly, the trial edition of Biohazard 2 is not the Resident Evil 1.5 that we're all curious about, but you'll be surprised to see the vast differences that come with the trial edition and the full game of Resident Evil 2. I'll be making a separate video analyzing the demo versions of Resident Evil 2 since there are a good amount of differences from both the international versions of the demo and the Japanese one. Heck, it'll probably be the next video. Anyways, even though both discs appear quite bland, the texture for both of them is impressive. It has small spots with both the zombie image and the eyeball image on the second disc, which both feel like a grip texture. It's neat. I like that the first disc is white and has black textures, whereas the second disc is black with white textures, sort of a yin and yang appearance. The handbook manual has a detailed 3D render of a lamp, which I'm not 100% sure where it can be found in the game, but it looks cool. I bet a big fan will want to create a lamp that looks exactly like this, and I wouldn't mind purchasing it. For the rest of the manual, you get about the same information regarding the game, its characters, mechanics, etc. And this time, it includes information about Biohazard II, the trial edition. And that's about it. Moving on to the next game, we got Biohazard Directors Cut DualShock version. The most hated version thanks to the new soundtrack of the game. But I gotta say, I love the front cover of this version. The international version of both the Director's Cut and the DualShock version were a downgrade since they just took a close-up shot of Stallone Redfield's angry, confused look from the first international RE cover and they removed the barely visible tarantulas next to him. And the DualShock version has a close-up of the first zombie encounter. That's it. Whereas in the Japanese version of the DualShock version, we got a stunning shot of the main lobby of the Spencer Mansion. That's two badass covers for the original Biohazard that immediately let the player know which game they're looking at. The back of the case shows 3 gameplay screenshots with a zoomed in shot of a pre-rendered background, which I think it's the hallway from the 2nd floor. If we look at the 3 images, one of them is Chris running away from the giant boulder, the other one is a shot of him fighting Jan the giant snake, but he's taking it on with a rocket launcher. And the 3rd screenshot caught me even more by surprise because it turns out to be an image of Elza Walker at the police station from Resident Evil 1.5. When I first saw this, I was excited to see for myself if this version actually included a demo of Resident Evil 1.5. It'd be the first time I get to actually play the true demo that was only played at a convention years back when they presented the game. Unfortunately, we don't have a playable demo of the game, but instead it's part of a 4 gameplay video section of 1.5, which are part of the 2nd disc included with this game. That 2nd disc is called the Biohazard Complete Disc. Kind of a confusing title, right? Well, this disc allows you to download save data of every version of Biohazard 1 and 2 into your memory card and view unseen footage of Resident Evil 1.5. That alone is actually a really cool feature that was bundled with the Biohazard Directors Cut DualShock version, because not only does it include 4 gameplay examples of 1.5, but it also has music tracks that were not included with the international versions of Resident Evil Directors Cut or any other Resident Evil games for that matter. Another crazy surprise here is that it features unused Japanese voice versions of the live action cutscenes and different music along with them.
それは確かにブラボーチームのヘリだった。ヘリの中は無人。しかしおかしなことにほとんどの装備は置き去りにされていた。そして俺たちはその訳をすぐ知ることになる。
奥さん。
ああ、女房とガキたちさ。こいつらいつも俺の帰りを待ってるんだ。今日なんか上の娘の。すまねえ。
気にしないで。彼はきっと生きてる。
疲れたかい、レベッカ。
すいません、ついとっとしちゃって。
いや、君はよくやってくれたさ。今回の事件が一緒だったんだ。今回の事件。
Looking inside, we get 2 discs again, a handbook manual, a slip with mailing information, I believe. Not really sure what this was for, but the rest of them seem to come with it. I'm also confused of what this one's about. Seems like it has to do with the first and second game soundtrack. Well, I looked up the website linked below and it led nowhere. But by using the Wayback Internet Archive, I was able to look at the website during certain years, and it looks like Sewell Pewter is a music and video brand produced by Capcom. So if you wanted to purchase specific soundtracks from Capcom games, this was once the site to go to. The manual included with this Biohazard version shows the same artwork and info as the previous Director's Cut, but this time it includes a few advertisements for some Capcom classics. I wonder if anyone ever did use this to order some magazines or games to be delivered way before Amazon or eBay were around, as well as pre-ordering games. Now let's take a look at the next game in line, Biohazard II. Even though the previous two Biohazard games included a second disc, the game case was not one of these special cases, which I like it more. It doesn't look crammed like the other two. And that front cover, oh man, it is perfect. It reminds me of George A. Romero's commercials of RE2. I know the international cover is iconic with that peeking zombie with its bony fingers at the side, but this looks fantastic. And the game discs, oh man, they are gorgeous. Even though it's just the title of the game with the name Leon on disc 1 and Claire on disc 2, the way it's presented makes them look super rare. The game manual shows us a prologue with a sunset on the Arkley Mountains, and it gives you all the details you need to know about the game before playing it. It also features an advertisement for the same Capcom classics as before, its magazine subscriptions as well, and the game soundtrack. And for some reason, they show us that you can purchase a Desert Eagle, which might not be real. I'm hoping it wouldn't be real. But if it's a replica of the Desert Eagle used in the game, then that's pretty hardcore. What's even funnier would be this controller shown above. What's with the elongated handlebars? Once again, they include a mailing slip, but the real deal is with these next two items. A spine card and a pack of exclusive stickers. Most brand new Japanese games would come with a spine card, also known as an obi card. It's in case you just want to replace the end label of your game case, and surprisingly these spine cards can come at a very high price. I don't really see why anyone would want to have this as an option to include in their disc case, as every game case already has an end label and all the main information you need to know about the game, but I guess I won't complain seeing as it's quite nifty. And if this little piece of paper is valuable, then alright. But the stickers, oh man, how awesome is this? I never thought I'd be excited over a pack of small stickers, but when it comes to the original Resident Evil games, you know these are some rare treasures right here. Every now and then I'll send some friends a letter through mail and include some stickers based on games, shows, and anime, but I could never find unique stickers of Resident Evil. They're always just bumper stickers with an umbrella logo or the Resident Evil name alone. And this is exactly what I was looking for. But since it's the only pack of stickers I have, I can't possibly send these babies as it's my own pack of exclusive RE stickers. And they're based on the original Biohazard versions. My god, are these priceless. I know, I'm overreacting over some stickers. The DualShock version of Biohazard 2 does not come with the spine card, a mailing slip, or these special stickers, and even though the front cover is more detailed than the original Biohazard 2 cover, I still prefer the original cover over this one. But the game discs are an improvement, since this time they include a translucent image of Leon and Claire for their individual game discs. I love that for sure. The manual handbook is the same as the previous one, but this time it does not include an ad for that weird looking controller or the Desert Eagle. I wonder if they got complaints over that. Biohazard 3 Last Escape is the next game in line, and I love both the front cover and the back. It's hard to say which cover looks better between the Japanese and international versions. I like them both, especially the back of the Japanese version, as it includes a beautiful shot of Jill's 3D model, and this time they only put one screenshot of the game, but it works well as a presentation of the game. This version includes a spine card, a mailing slip, the handbook manual, and a merchandise pamphlet. The game disc looks kind of bland. I definitely prefer the US version, which has a translucent close-up shot of the Nemesis. But it's interesting to see the Capcom logo in black and red here. The manual handbook gives us a prologue with a shot of the city streets. Looks good. We get information about our main characters, the new gameplay mechanics and features. You would definitely want to read up on this to figure out how to time that dodge move that'll come in handy more than you'd think. It also explains the new life selection and an advertisement for Dino Crisis. And speaking of that game, I'm surprised that they didn't include a demo disc of that game along with Biohazard 3, seeing as they did include the demo disc with the international versions of Resident Evil 3 Nemesis, and the international full version of Dino Crisis would include a demo of Resident Evil 3 Nemesis as well. Now looking at the next page in the manual, we can see that they also advertised new Biohazard merch. These may appear as bland as ever, seeing as it's just normal looking items with the words stars and RPD on them, but these were likely the very first pieces of clothing that were based on the Resident Evil franchise, so if this RPD jacket costed up to $111 back then, chances are that it now goes for $1,000 or more. The manual also shows a small timeline of the games to give the players little information on when these events occurred. But now it's time to look at what you've probably all been waiting for. The merchandise that you likely never knew about unless you purchased them yourself and happen to keep them sealed and safely stored for higher value. Starting with these Zippo lighters. They made 2 different Raccoon Police Zippo lighters and 3 different Made in Heaven Zippo lighters, each going for 10,000 yen, which is $78 US. That's a hell of a price for a single Zippo lighter, right? But these were limited edition Biohazard Zippo lighters, so they must have been of great quality. I looked these up, and to my surprise, the red and black Made in Heaven lighters are available on eBay, and it's only going for $280. For such a rare item, I'm surprised it's not going for quadruple the price, but it says that it has been used a few times, probably more than that, but hey, it's available. The red Made in Heaven lighter is said to be new and it goes for $350. Any takers? Moving on to more merch, there are the Biohazard figures. The Leon and Claire figures include a Zippo lighter and a small platform for both. They went for $111, which I'd say seems like a hell of a good deal for back then. Then there's the Jill and Hunk digital alarm clocks, both going for the low price of 6,000 yen, which is $47. I checked online to see if anyone was selling these, and the Claire figure with the Zippo lighter is available on eBay for $400, brand new, with an additional $40 for shipping. I think that's a good deal. The Leon figure with the Zippo lighter is also available on eBay, brand new for the same price, but $50 for shipping. Again, another great deal. I found the Hunk digital alarm clock on eBay as well, going up to $500 used, but I had no luck finding the Jill digital alarm clock. Still, I'm just surprised to see some of these items still available, knowing that they came out during a time when Resident Evil was not the popular franchise that it is today. There's a website called Shezzy's Collection where all these limited edition Zippo lighters are displayed, so it's possible that the owner of the site got a hold of them at the time and has them in great condition. There doesn't seem to be a price tag, so they're likely for display only, which is for the best, I'd say. Even the Leon and Claire figures are displayed here on the website, still in their box. Fantastic. But the Jill and Hunk digital alarm clock figures aren't present here. Still, this is one superb collection. The back of the merch pamphlet shows that they were preparing to launch the Real Shock action figure collection, which they did, and those two go for a pretty big price. But they are a collection worth getting since they are detailed figures. I also have to mention this image right here. I don't think I've ever seen this poster anywhere online. I wonder if that's Hunk taking on William Birkin. I sure as hell would love to have a giant poster of this in my bedroom wall. There's still more merch to look at here. Once again, they were selling what appears to be a replica of the Samurai Edge. That's pretty cool. An Airsoft Custom Stars gun. And below, it shows that the Magnum and Custom Magnum are sold out. I'm sure there are tons of replicas of these weapons, but it does leave you wondering, who bought these original ones first? Besides that, there are UBCS watches that went for $157 and even $472. But they don't really appear to have any special designs that scream Resident Evil or Biohazard. They look nice, but that's about it. The random merch would have to be the Biohazard snowboard suit and the Made in Heaven snowboard. Those ones don't have a price tag, nor do they have a physical display of these items, but did anyone actually purchase them? Because I couldn't find either of them online, so it's possible that they were never made. The last Biohazard game here is Biohazard Gun Survivor, but it only comes with its manual handbook, the mailing slip, and the spine card, which again is apparently worth a lot of money alone. So those were all the true differences in products presented with the Japanese versions of the Resident Evil collection on the PS1. What do you think? Do you prefer the international versions or the Japanese versions? And if you could purchase 2 items shown in the merch pamphlet, which items would you get? Let me know in the comments, and next time we'll be analyzing the differences between the original Resident Evil 2 demos. That's it for the video. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button to give this video a chance to grow. I'd like to thank all my Patreon supporters for their impeccable generosity. Your support means a lot to me, and you are part of the reason why I try to make the best content that I can. And if you like this content, check out the rest of my channel. You'll find more entertainment from separate franchises I like to cover, such as Mortal Kombat, Dragon Ball Z, Celebrity Deathmatch, Men in Black, The Mask, Batman comics, The Terminator, TMNT, Dino Crises, Resident Evil, and more. If you're a Patreon supporter, check out my exclusive videos such as the Gantz content. And if you'd like to show your support, go to my Patreon and support the channel, which is only $1. Sacrifice that McChicken for extra quality content, my friend. But anyways, I'll see you all in the next video, and remember to have an awesome day.